In this next video of the lesson, Health Insurance Products Part 1, we will learn about hospitalization indemnity products. Here we will cover the following topics. An indemnity-based health insurance policy is the most common and highest sold health insurance product in India. The Mediclaim policy, introduced in the 80s by the PSU insurers, was the earliest and the only standard health insurance product available in the market for a long time. Mediclaim still continues to be the largest selling health insurance in the country. Hospitalization indemnity products protect individuals from the expenditure that may incur in the event of hospitalization. In most of the cases, they also cover specific number of days before and after hospitalization, but exclude expenses that do not involve hospitalization. Now we will learn about hospitalization expenses. An indemnity policy pays the insured the cost of hospitalization expenses incurred on account of illness or accident. All expenses may not be payable, as most of the products define the covered expenses, which normally include: first, room, boarding, and nursing expenses as provided by the hospital or nursing home. This includes nursing care, RMO charges, IV fluids, blood transfusion, injection administration charges, and similar expenses. Second, intensive care unit, that is, ICU expenses. Third, surgeon, anesthetist, medical practitioner, consultants, or specialists' fees. Fourth, anesthetic, blood, oxygen, operation theatre, and surgical appliances charges. Fifth, medicines and drugs expenses. Sixth, dialysis, chemotherapy, and radiotherapy expenses. Seventh, cost of prosthetic devices implanted during surgical procedure like pacemaker, orthopedic implants, infracardiac valve replacements, and vascular stents. Eighth, relevant laboratory or diagnostic tests and other medical expenses related to the treatment. And ninth, hospitalization expenses excluding cost of organ incurred on donor with respect to organ transplant to the insured. A regular hospitalization indemnity policy covers expenses only if the duration of stay in the hospital is for 24 hours or more. IRDA Health Insurance Standardization Guidelines define pre-hospital expenses that are incurred immediately before the insured person is hospitalized, provided that such medical expenses are incurred for the same condition for which the insured person's hospitalization was required, and the inpatient hospitalization claim for such hospitalization is admissible by the insurance company. Pre-hospitalization expenses could be in the form of tests, medicines, doctor's fees, etc. Post-hospitalization expenses are defined as those medical expenses which are incurred immediately after the insured person is discharged from the hospital, provided that such medical expenses are incurred for the same condition for which the insured person's hospitalization was required, and the inpatient hospitalization claim for such hospitalization is admissible by the insurance company. Post-hospitalization expenses could be in the form of medicines, drugs, review by doctors, etc. after discharge from hospital. Though the duration of cover for pre- and post-hospitalization expenses would vary from insurer to insurer and is defined in the policy, but the most common cover is for 30 days pre- and 60 days post-hospitalization. Pre- and post-hospitalization expenses form part of the overall sum insured for which cover is granted under the policy. An individual health policy also has a provision to take care of expenses incurred for medical treatment taken at home without being admitted to a hospital. However, the condition is that, though the illness requires attention at a hospital, but the condition of the patient is such that he cannot be moved to a hospital or there is lack of accommodation in hospitals. This cover usually carries an excess clause of 3 to 5 days, which means that the treatment cost for first 3 to 5 days has to be borne by the insured. This cover also excludes domiciliary treatments for certain chronic or common ailments such as asthma, bronchitis, chronic nephritis, nephritic syndrome, diarrhea, and all types of dysenteries, including gastroenteritis, diabetes mellitus, epilepsy, hypertension, influenza, cough and cold, and fever. Thank you.